Sahna Vavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Saha Viryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu Ma Vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om. Om Shanno Mitra Sham Varunaha Shanno Bhavatvaryama Shanna Indro Bruhaspatihi Shanno Vishnu Rurukramaha. Namo Brahmane Namaste Vayo Tvameva Pratyaksham Brahmasi Tvameva Pratyaksham Brahma Vadishyami Vritam Vadishyami Satyam Vadishyami Tanma Vavatu Tad Vaktaram Avatu Avatu Mam Avatu Vaktaram. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. So we are at the section that we are doing the 5 sheets, and we finished the Annamaya Kosha, the food sheet, and Pranamaya Kosha, the vital energy sheet. And now this verse is about Manomaya, the third one. And obviously, as far as subtlety goes, the more subtle it is, more inward the sheet you can call it. And when it comes to Manomaya, this Upanishad has a very interesting approach, and we will see why. It's a little mystical language and all that, so we'll try to understand. Here is the verse. Tasya esha eva sharira atma ya purvasya tasmat vai ekasmat pranmayat anya antaraha atma manomayah tainesha purnaha sava esha purusha vidha eva tasya purusha vidatam anu ayam purusha vidha tasya yajurre Reva Shiraha Rig Dakshinaha Pakshaha Samaha Uttara Pakshaha Adesha Atma Atharva Angirasaha Prucham Pratishtha Tad Api Eshaha Shloko Bhavati. Again, very long, but once we know. So Tasya is off that. Eshaha this. Eva is verily. Sharira Atma. Now we know, the embodied Atman. Like I said, the Atma word is used in many different contexts. So we have to know what context it's using. And when it comes to the 5 sheath, the inner sheath becomes the Atma for the other one. It's just a way of saying it. And so here is who? Purvasya, of the former. Tasmat ve etasmat, as already explained indeed. From the very, means जो already बोल चुके हैं हम. Pranamaya, consisting of pranaya. So now we know pranamay. May मतलब जो पूरा pervade करता है. Anandmay हो जाना means fully anandmay. So the maya word is used. So that's why annamaya kosha, anand, all these, उसको maya बोला है. Anya is other, then different. Antara atma, inner self. Manomayan. So, constitute of mind. Tena, with that, Esha is this one. Purna we know very well in Hindi, full. Sa is he, Vai is verily, Esha is this, Purusha Vidha, in the form of a person. So, just telling you that Manomay ka bhi akar human jaisa hi hai. Eva is only, Tasya is its, Purusha Vidatam, human form. Anu is depending upon or according to. Ayam is this one. Purusha Vidha, of the shape of the person. Tasya, of it. Yajuhu, Yajurveda ke liye bola hai. Eva only. Shira is the head. Rig, we know Rig Veda, that's what. Dakshin Paksha means right side, because it seems that when you are facing the sun, the right side is south. That's why it's called the right side. Sama is Uttara Paksha, Sama is Samaveda, Sama is Samaveda. Uttara Paksha is the left side. And the same principle that when you're facing the sun, the north is on the left side, that's why उत्तर को left बोला है. Adesha is the scriptural injunctions. Atma, the self. Atharva Angiras, the hymns of the Atharva Veda. So it seems that there were two rishis, Atharva and Angiras, who did this Atharva Veda, which has all the secular knowledge also. And we'll talk about that. Prucham Pratishtha is the hind part of the support. Just like the body we were talking about, it has head and it has left side, right side, dhad and base, And Tat is about that. Api also. Esha is this. Shloka verse. There is. So they're talking about the next shloka. So, when it comes to Manomaya Kosha, I just wanted to bring one point. Like in the West, sometimes when they talk about mind, they always think that it is the brain. That's it. Mind isn't. But in Vedanta, we don't think like that. Brain is just a machine. Through it, the mind is expressing, but mind actually expresses throughout the body. तभी इंग्लिश में भी एक सेइंग है, आई हैव अ गट फीलिंग. अगर वो सोचते हैं कि माइंड इधर ही है तो गट में कहाँ से फीलिंग हो गई भाई? वो भी वेदांता ही बोल रहे हैं फिर, बिकॉज पेट में भी कुछ कुछ होता है एंड पूरी बॉडी में होता है. सो माइंड इज परवेडेड इन द एंटायर बॉडी. आपको माइंड खाली मस्तिष्क में नहीं मिलेगा, पूरे बॉडी में. सो दैट्स वन पॉइंट दैट आई थॉट ऑफ. बट एनीवे, सो हिंदी में क्या बोला उन्होंने? हिंदी लवर्स के लिए है ट्रांसलेशन, सो थोड़ा और क्लियर हो जाएगा. एंड दिस इज जस्ट अ वर्ड ट्रांसलेशन, वी विल हैव टू गो डीपर, बट जस्ट गेट सम आइडिया. निश्चय ही पहले बताए गए प्राणमय पुरुष से भिन्न, उससे भी सूक्ष्म, उसके भीतर रहने वाला एक और पुरुष है जो मन है. वह बाद वाला मनोमय पुरुष वो पहले वाले प्राणमय पुरुष में पूरी तरह भरा हुआ है. It is pervading everything. उसका आकार भी पहले वाले पुरुष के आकार जैसा ही है. मनोमय पुरुष का आकार भी प्राणमय शरीर के आकार जैसा ही है. यजुर्वेद के श्लोक इस मनोमय पुरुष का सिर है. ऋग्वेद के श्लोक इसका दाहिना भाग है. सामवेद के भजन गान इसका बायां भाग है. वेद के ब्राह्मण अंकों के आदेश और शिक्षा इसका धड़ है. और अंगिरस और अथर्व के भजन मंत्र इसका निचला भाग है. और इसके शरीर को स्थिर रखने का आधार है. निचला भाग मनोमय पुरुष की महिमा में अगला श्लोक है. सो दैट्स व्हाट. उप्स, आई जस्ट हैड अ वाटर स्पिल, सॉरी, गिव मी अ मिनट. ओके, boo boo here. Okay, so what it is saying, so we saw it's a subtle language, so we have to kind of try to understand with different people's commentary that what they are trying to say. So this is describing the Manomaya Kosha. So when it's saying that it is constituted of all the Vedas, so there are 2-3 different points over here. One is that here the teacher is talking to the students and their focus is learning this Atmagyan, right? And to learn the Atmagyan, for the purpose of Upasana, you have to superimpose. So even though if you totally technically go by Vedanta, mind is a transparent thing. Mind is actually, the way Swamiji explains is, mind is a flow of thoughts. So that's why there is a word called no mind also. How can it be? And I'll give you an example. That suppose एक river है. River हमेशा बहती हुए पानी को ही river बोलते हैं. Is that true? अगर कोई बहता हुआ पानी ना, वो तालाब वो माना जाएगा, right? तो अगर समझो पानी बह नहीं रहा है, सूख गया, तो उसको river बोलेंगे ही नहीं. बोलेंगे होती थी पहले एक रिवर, अभी नहीं है यहाँ पे रिवर, राइट? सो रिवर मीन्स फ्लो ऑफ वाटर, दैट्स इट. सेम वे नाउ अप्लाई दिस टू अवर माइंड. माइंड मीन्स फ्लो ऑफ थॉट्स. सो व्हेन यू से दैट यू हैव नो माइंड, मीन्स यू हैव नो थॉट्स. उसको नो माइंड बोला है. दैट्स व्हाई इन मेडिटेशन दे आर टेलिंग यू टू स्लोली मेक द थॉट्स लेस, सिंगल पॉइंटेड करो, धीरे धीरे उसमें विलीन कर दो. Brahma mein, kind of, huh? So then the substratum will be seen. Like river ka bed depth dikhai dega jab river band ho jayegi. Okay? So think about that now. So now there could be a situation where ideal mind कैसा होना चाहिए. अगर मेरा माइंड है तो वो क्या चीज का बना होना चाहिए, सोचो आप. ऑब्वियसली द वेदों का जो ज्ञान है वो सबसे बेस्ट है ना. अगर मेरा माइंड उस विचारों से भरा होगा, then it will be the best for me, for the students. So keep that perspective in mind, that why they are saying this mind is made up, because this they are speaking especially to the students. And to me, the take home for us is कि अगर माइंड है उसको अच्छे विचारों से भरो तुम. उसको आकार देना हो तो अच्छे विचारों से दो. So that's why the upasana method is over there. वेदों के मंत्र से भरा होना चाहिए. So यजुर्वेद को सर बताया है, और ऋग और साम वेद को दोनों लेफ्ट एंड राइट साइड बताया, और अथर्व वेद जो कि अंगिरस और ये अथर्व ऋषि ने लिखा था उसको फाउंडेशन बताया है. एंड स्वामी जी इज गोइंग टू एक्सप्लेन that Atharvaved is like a secular knowledge. And that's another thing I wanted to discuss, that in our Shastras, the material knowledge is part of the Vedas only. In the Western world, it's not like that. You have Bible mein, they don't have like secular knowledge ki bhai, kya bola, Ayurveda and all the Dhanush Vidya and फलाना मेटल को कैसे हैंडल करना, द्रव्य, ये वो. फॉर अस ऑल द 4 वेदास इंक्लूड दिस. अथर्व वेदा इंक्लूड्स ऑल दैट नॉलेज, इंक्लूड अर्थशास्त्र एंड ऑल दैट. I don't know the absolute nitty-gritty, but that's what I understood, that all the material science in those days were part of the Vedas only. And these rishis, they were like scientists. So they not only did the research on the mind and who we are and all, but they also did it on the material sciences. That's why they knew how to create these and create we might look at it as like a Puranic stories. उसने ये निर्माण कर दिया, वो निर्माण कर दिया, but they actually had the technology to do all that because it's part of the material science. So he's saying that this secular knowledge is our foundation of the mind, because secular knowledge के बिना हम संसार में नहीं कर सकते हैं. And somewhere I was reading that this Atharva Veda had all about marriage and death and yantra mantra tantra. Swamiji is going to talk about that is all there. So, and the other point is that to understand the Vedas, we have to employ the mind and intellect. जो भगवान ने शक्ति दी है हमको, उसके बिना, मननम करने के बिना हमको कुछ समझ में नहीं आने वाला. Right? So that's why this body should be made up of the mantras, because we need to do mananam and all that. So it's a mystical language. That's how you have to understand. Reflection we have to do. And obviously the student's life mate is one of the most important thing. And then in those days, we have heard of Karma Kand also, right? Karma Kand is all the ritualism. Now it has taken like a strange kind of, बोलना चाहिए, उसका रूप थोड़ा बिगड़ रहा है, but they had a more scientific knowledge about ritualism. That's why when they could do the Havan with the proper ritual, rain used to fall. Because they had this way of taking all these material and it वाष्प बन के ऊपर चला जाता है, and then it used to affect the atmosphere and rain. Don't ask me how, but that's what they say. They had precise knowledge of how to do it. So that Karma Kand was also, and the bulk of Vedas is Karma Kand only. So they are these Atharva Veda and all that. That's a base, that how to do all these scientific things and all that. And then Swamiji is going to say that the real ones have really gotten lost. अभी खाली skeleton जैसा रह गया, पर फिर भी जो भी हम अभी भी है उसको foundation माना है. And then Swamiji is going to explain in the commentary that sometime they accuse that these rishis they were vairagis, उनको क्या मालूम world के बारे में, वो तो सब छोड़ छाड़ के चले गए. Say no, that's not true at all. They gave equal importance to material things also, and they did all the research and all that. And then our teacher used to say that whenever you have a doubt about anything, go to the source, go back to the shlokas. That's why in Bhagavad Gita also, these days on internet, you say, Bhagwan ne Gita mein aisa kaha tha. Or exact words bola bhi nahi hoga Bhagwan ne. So that's why when we study Bhagavad Gita, we go by each word also what Bhagwan is saying. So we are closer to it. Of course, the interpretation can be all many, and that's okay. But at least you know, basically Bhagwan directly kya bol rahe hain. So we should go. So if you go study these shastras and these things yourself, then you discover this shloka where it is said that how important it was to understand material science also. You can't ignore the world, And then we have this very famous saying in Hindi, right? Bhukhe pet na hoi gopala, right? So it's like if you completely ignore the worldly things, as go meditate and you are so hungry, you will not be able to do it. So pehle khana pina kar lo, sab samajh lo, and that's why in this Upanishad also they told the students, learn everything, go earn money, go get married, have children, take care of them and their education and all that, and also to pursue this, So that's what you have to Manomay Kosha ko us angle se bhi dekhna chahiye, So this is how it is that, it basically is talking about the psychological personality. That's another way of looking at it in the modern language. And the base is this secular knowledge of it. Any question? Manomay Kosha. Okay. Anybody would like to read? Meena ji. Oh, you want to read Urmil ji? Go ahead, Urmil ji.
Of that former Annamaya, this Pranamaya is the Atman. Different from this Pranamaya, self made up of the pranas, there is another self constituted of the mind. With that self made of mind, the Pranamaya is full. This also is of the form of man. Its human form is according to that of the former. Of it, Yajas is the head, Rig is the right side, Sam is the left side, the scriptural injunction, Adesha, is the trunk, and the group of hymns of Atharva Veda is the tail and the support. There is the following Vedika verse about it.
So that you're talking about the next verse, the Vedika verse, but at least now. And so one thing that we got from this is that Manomay Kosh pervades everything, the entire body. If we got that, then we got the correct picture of it.
I mean, I remember last week, when we were reading about Pranamaya, so I said Atma, and here also it said that Pranamaya is the Atma.
Okay, so that's exactly what I was, you're asking that why. So that Atma, the word, is used in different context. When you talk about absolutely pure meaning of Atma, then it is Brahman and Atma is one, right? Mm-hmm. But there are 2-3 ways of looking at it. And the other time they use Atma, they even call Jivatma ko Atma bolte hain. Jivatma means, like we talked about it, ki when we die, the subtle body travels to the next life with mind, intellect, and subtle pranas also they believe that it goes with it, and the impressions. उसको जीवात्मा बोला है, लेकिन फिर हम लोग जीव वर्ड को निकाल देते हैं, खाली आत्मा भी बोलते हैं, तभी बोलते हैं ना आत्मा निकल गई उसकी. So, बट हम लोग ने पढ़ा है कि प्योर आत्मा तो कहीं आती जाती भी नहीं है. It's just a presence. We saw that, Adhyaksha and all that. So here, what the 5 koshas are there. So they are calling Manomay Kosh Atma for the Pranmay. The Pranmay Kosh is Atma for the food sheath or Annamay Kosha. That's how we have to look at it. Okay. And then the other point to prove this is, we saw how did this sheath come about. We saw that there was a Brahman is there, फिर उसमें से आकाश, फिर उसमें से वायु. So then actually ये भी ब्रह्मन ही है, तो एक तरह से self ही हो गया ना. Right? So that's another way of looking at it. So then, this is how you have to understand this.
Yeah. As described earlier, here also the mental sheath is described as filling the entire area of the vital air sheath, which in its turn fills up the form of the food sheath. For this Manomaya Kosha, the Yajurveda mantras from the head and the Rig Veda and the Samveda mantras from the right and left sides. The Yajurveda contains mantras which have no strict rules regarding the number of letters in each line, nor is there any definite rule regarding the ending letter in each line. Rig Veda mantras are those that are strictly bound by the laws of metrical composition.
So he's just telling you, if whoever is interested, but Manomaya Kosha, all different parts are all different things. So we have to, kabhi strict bhi hona padta hai, kabhi nahi bhi, whichever way you want to look at it,
These Vedika mantras are external sounds. How they can be considered as parts of the human mind is a doubt that can certainly come to an intelligent reader's alert mind. In all upasanas, an individual is advised to superimpose certain desirable meanings upon a substratum for the purpose of invoking the greatest concentration. Ordinarily, no explanation can be expected in the prescription for upasanas, since the worshipper never comes to demand any explanation. One training for good marksmanship will not question the why and the wherefore of the fixed point of concentration. However, here there seems to be a fairly good logic about it.
So basically, Swamiji, sorry, did the paragraph end?
In my book, it continues.
Okay. Anyway, mine it just ended. So basically, Swamiji is just saying that on one hand, we might think, hey, why they are calling all the Vedas part of the Manomaya Kosha? But obviously, they had a reason. And we already discussed, that if you want to have कि कोई चीज से भरा होना चाहिए, तो कोई अच्छी चीजों से भरा होना चाहिए ना. If you start having all the negative thoughts, the students will never get to the goal. That's one. And secondly, he's just saying that when, even in the worldly sense, when you go and suppose you want to do an internship somewhere, and you go there and the boss says, yeah, do this, then you will become a good in that skill. You just do it, what the boss is saying. You don't question too many times. Because he knows that if you do like this, you will become expert in it, So he's just telling you that, that's all.
So he's just telling you to fill your mind with Vedas.
Yes, especially for the students. Because Veda mein sab kuch samaya hua hai. It's a manual of how to function correctly. And then the other part of it is going to say that somebody might say, खाली वेद के मंत्री पढ़ते रहेंगे तो दुनिया का क्या होगा? अरे चिंता मत करो, दुनिया की बातें भी है बोली है उन्होंने, उसको फाउंडेशन ही बोला है उसमें. So you are covered. If you actually उसको वेदों से भर दो, you are covered both ways. You will get a secular knowledge as well as knowledge of Brahman. दोनों मिल जाएगा. That's what they're saying.
Listen, does it matter left and right when they particularly talk about left, this one?
I personally don't think so. Yeah. It's like to say, hey, which side of it is more important? Somebody might say...
That's what I was wondering, whether it's concerned with the left side of the brain or right side of the brain, and that's what they're talking about.
Yeah, you can...
I'm just wondering.
You can further usko dissect kar sakte ho, and you might come up with some explanation, like koi bolega ki left, right side to same hi hai body mein, to koi bol dega, nahi, dil to left side mein hota hai, left side is more important.
But I noticed that they always say the right side first, south, that's what I kind of noticed. that they say South Paksh, and that means the right side. So, I mean, that's what I noticed when I was reading.
Yeah,
But,
I mean, they,
like we
I
always give importance to the right side also in our.
राइट साइड से खाना खाओ, राइट साइड से लिखो, यू कैन से दैट.
So-
फिर लेफ्ट वाले बोलेंगे हमारा क्या होगा, जो लोग लेफ्ट.
Right.
I mean,
in
I
India,
think-
we were always corrected if somebody was eating with their left hand. Oh, no. I mean, here they don't say that, but in India they did.
You know, there are people who use both the hands equally, and they are called क्या बोलते हैं उनको, एक नाम है उनका इंग्लिश में, ambidextrous, right? And there is a verse in Bhagavad Gita where Krishna Bhagwan उसको बोलते हैं निमित्त मात्र भव सव्य साचिन. Savya Sachin means the one who can use both hands. Equally. Because it seems Arjun, the reason he was such a great warrior, he could do so many different things that other people couldn't do. He could do बाण चला सकता था अंधेरे में, because he practiced. And then he could बाण चला सकता दोनों हाथों से. तो जब वो इधर का थक जाता था तो इधर से चलाता था. That's why he could survive there. And I notice myself too, when I'm doing some cleaning my sink and all that, my right hand gets tired. I start doing it with left hand. Left hand is not very efficient. Mine, I'm a right-handed. So, all these things कि right से करना चाहिए ये वो, but इधर भगवान ने तो उसको बोला कि उसको नाम दे दिया सव्य साचिन की दोनों हाथ. So equally important है. That's how I will say it. But anyway, everybody can think the way they feel comfortable in their mind.
The Vedika mantras are in themselves important unless the practitioner is ready to approach them in a spirit of total cooperation, investing his entire intellect and mind. Mantra means that symbol upon which we do our reflection, manana, as such to indicate to the students of the Vedas of those days, especially when they were pure brahmacharins, that the mental sheath is nothing but the Vedas is quite striking and appropriate. This clearly shows how single-pointed and truly devoted to knowledge the students were rendered in those days during their educational career.
So we discussed that. And then we discussed this, that they have to reflect on these mantras and all that. So that's why they wanted the students to focus on this. So they just, created this whole thing.
The injunctions prescribed in the Vedas, which detail the rules of conduct during ritualism, constitutes the trunk of the Manomaya Kosha. The
Atharva Veda,
Atharva Veda, constituted of mantras seen by Rishi Atharvana and Angirisha.
Angiras, Atharvan and Angiras. Yeah, Angiras,
Okay.
yes.
Angiras is considered as the foundation upon which the mind exists.
Yeah, so we discussed that is जो अथर्व वेदा है उसको अंगिरस और अथर्वन ऋषियों ने बनाया था और वो foundation है. So let's see what he's saying further. Yeah.
When we understand that the Atharva Veda contained all the knowledge of the secular sciences such as machines and charms, yantra, mantra, tantra, and so on, the statement that it is the foundation of the mind gains a deeper and irresistible significance. Unfortunately, today in this country, we have only a very scrappy skeletal portion of the Veda available in the original manuscript.
So we discussed that, right? That that has all the sciences, and now they are trying to dig more and more. But I heard that वो जो नालंदा यूनिवर्सिटी थी ना उसमें बहुत कुछ था और उसको सब जला दिया था. When the Muslim invasion happened, and then they put and they said कि वो जो लाइब्रेरी में इतना इंफॉर्मेशन था वो महीनों तक जलती रही थी वहाँ पे. इतना उन्होंने सब डिस्ट्रॉय कर दिया. So it got kind of lost, but I think that slowly through people, other rishi munis, it will get revealed again because it's a continuous process. Temporarily it may get lost, but then it'll come back again.
in saying that the third Veda is the stay of the mind, and the entire edifice of the mind is built up with the other three Vedas, we understand with what sanctity of understanding and sympathy did the rishis of old look upon the secular activities of the state and the society.
So we saw that they gave very good importance to all these material things also, because the whole foundation is based on that. But you have to take care of the material things first, and have a proper foundation. उसके बाद तुम spirituality में जाओ. ये इसका पूरा theme भी वही था कि they told the students to do all that. We saw that. And the last verse of Bhagavad Gita is also is saying, yatra yogeshwara and yatra Krishna, और जहाँ पर योगेश्वर कृष्ण है और जहाँ पर पार्थ धनुर्धरा is there. Parth means material knowledge. Together, if they are together, then you have all the prosperity, Vijay means victory and good policy and happiness. All four things, you need both. So here also they are saying the same thing.
To say that Vedanta closed its eyes to the material side of life is an undigested understanding of our spiritual culture and material science as interpreted in the eternal Vedas. Unprepared and unhealthy students of the Hindu literature alone will have this shameless courage. An unprejudiced study clearly shows that the rishis entered the vast arena of the subjective experience of the self only after they had walked along the unending corridors of their libraries and laboratories. Today we know not the recipes of the 12th century magicians, sorcerers, and devil beaters, for on reaching a greater knowledge through science and its experimental investigations, we have no more need to go back into witchcraft or sorcery of the barbarous age. So too, when the rishis and their children came to experience the staggering truth of the inward perfection and the essential divinity of man, they came to neglect, if not totally reject, the other sciences and their conclusions and achievements.
I think Swamiji wrote this long paragraph because when he came down from the Himalayas to teach and all that, there was probably a divide between, this is spiritual and this is worldly, right? And he's trying to bridge that gap, and he said it can go hand in hand, and you should not neglect either one of them. That's what it is. And even whole Bhagavad Gita is Arjuna wanted to go and sit and meditate under a tree, and he says, sorry, no, you have to fight the war. So you can look at it whichever way. And basically he's saying that if somebody is doing that, that's not what the Rishi intended, So go back and see this verse and you will understand what they're saying.
So he's saying that gain practical knowledge also.
Absolutely. And then Vedanta teaches you both. Teaches you about the world and teaches you about, the spirituality. And then you find out that the world is part of that Bhagwan only, but it's a changing part. And, changing, if you just hang on to the changing or you think you are the only changing, then the problem comes. But if you become a witness, then the problem... So many ways you can, understand this whole knowledge. तभी माया को भी देवी बोला है ना. एक तरह से तो माया बोला, it covers it, विक्षेप शक्ति and आवरण शक्ति. माया क्यों बोला? क्योंकि देवी में सात्विक गुना भी है. Hang on to the सात्विक गुना and then you can देवी का सहारा लेके तुम भगवान तक पहुंच सकते हो. So all that understanding we get it through all these studies.
How much deep they were thinking.
Yes, that you got it. They did not neglect anything, So to accuse somebody that somebody who just खाली वेदा में ध्यान है, दुनिया को तो neglect कर रहा है, that's wrong, And then हमारी teacher बोलती थी कि if you look at जितने भी हमारे भगवान है ना, they are happily married, big mahals, and everything. And शिव भगवान भी कैलाश में जाके रहते हैं मगर उन्होंने भी विवाह किया. So it's like, hey, worldly भी साथ साथ चल सकता है, ऐसा नहीं है.
Umaji, the other word for this is divinized life.
Yes. And that is a message in Bhagavad Gita too. In the end, the message is see God everywhere. And then that ego gets dissolved. It's true. So there's so many ways you can look at it.
How much they recognize the importance of the secular well-being through material knowledge, which has a greater contribution to make in the development of the mind and the intellect of the successful seeker of Vedanta, is evidently clear when they assert here that the mental sheath of the psychological personality in man is rooted well upon the Atharva Veda. The idea described above by the daring rishis of Taittiriya Upanishad is not the whim and fancy of the master, but it is the truth that had been endorsed by a long line of seers and has therefore come to be recognized as part of our Veda. The mantras are quoted in the following section.
So it's just telling you one more important point, that these in Taittiriya Upanishad they discuss this, what is a mental sheet made of. They gave a lot of importance to this secular knowledge and all that. And this is not that कि Taittiriya Upanishad वाले ऋषि मुनि ने खाली ये बोल दिया, because rest of the Vedas का जो conclusion है वो भी इन्होंने यहाँ पर बोला है. The next verse will prove that. And so जैसे बोलते हैं ना, आज के ज़माने में peer reviewed journal में तुम्हारा research है कि नहीं, खाली तुमने नहीं बोला, 100 दूसरे साइंटिस्ट ने भी उसको अप्रूव किया है. This is so that's what it is. That जो भी ये लोग बोल रहे हैं वो ऐवे ही नहीं बोल रहे हैं. There are many people have kind of done the research and they are just quoting in a different way, in their own style they are doing it. But that's why all the Upanishads, in the end, they are talking about the Brahma Gyan only. But they're just taking slightly different approach, opening some more. And Taittiriya Upanishad mein, there are so many important things, like Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahma. Very powerful statement is from here. And then, all those things, क्या बोलते हैं उसको, Dharmam Chara, Satyam Vada, Dharmam Chara, we hear about that. Those that come from Taittiriya. And then the most important one, Matru Deva Bhava, Pitru Deva Bhava, Acharya Deva Bhava, Atithi Deva Bhava. I was watching a soap opera yesterday, and in that lady was saying about, हमारे कल्चर में ना भगवान मानते हैं अतिथि को. That came from soap opera में भी यूज कर रहे हैं लोग अपना शास्त्र ज्ञान. So हम लोग को ये यहाँ से आया है, तैत्तरीय उपनिषद से आया है. So it is, each one has given us a lot of nice mantras, I think, to churn upon.
So how many Upanishads are there?
Well, they believe that there are like 700-800, but the most popular, there are 108 identified, because a lot of them got lost. Upanishads were, it's like a part of Vedas only. That's why when Swamiji said that Atharva Veda का भी खाली skeleton रह गया, बहुत सारी चीजें उसके मंत्र भी मतलब ये हो गए, destroy हो गए. But the most important ones that we study, most of the people study, like in Chinmaya Mission and other places, are the 11 that Shankaracharya ji picked out and commented upon. So if you study those 11, you got an extremely good hold of what. And then if we can't do any of that, Bhagavad Gita is the one.
Right.
Because Krishna Bhagavan took all the sahara of all the Upanishads and put it in Bhagavad Gita. That's why Bhagavad Gita ka itna importance hai. And like this mantra is there, जिसको महामंत्र बोलते हैं, हरे कृष्णा का जो है, हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे. All of us know this, right? Hare Rama. That has come from Upanishad too. Because I was very curious कि ये कहाँ से आया है, उसको महामंत्र क्यों बोलते हैं. And there is a Upanishad called, I think it's called Kali Santaran Upanishad. मैंने नाम भी नहीं सुना था. There is a Upanishad called Kali Santaran, उसमें से भी आया है. So there are so many Upanishads that people don't talk about, but they are there. All these Rishi Munis know about it. And it seems that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu 500 years ago introduced this mantra, but that's where he took it from. Because it has some, the Hare Krishna people believe that if you have, that in the Kali Yuga, that is called Kali Santaran, mean usko tar dena, par kar jana, duniya ko. Because, sitting in meditation and all is very hard. So they said that this mantra, the vibrations of it purifies your mind. So when you're chanting it, if you don't do any other thing, and then you will get curious. Then you will, when you study Bhagavad Gita, it will go deeper in it. Because idea is to get the self-knowledge, but we have to clean up the mind, no? So many Upanishads are there, yeah. Any other comment, question about all this?
It's telling about the laws mainly, how you should live in these from the Vedas or all the four. But isn't it Manu who wrote all the laws?
No, those are Vyahavarik laws. See, when it comes to Upanishads are like almost said, तभी उसको वेदांत भी बोलते हैं ना, like final conclusion क्या है, आत्मज्ञान. But then there are so many things, व्यवहार में तो और भी चीजें आ जाती है. And then जो स्मृतियां बोलते हैं ना, स्मृति, like after remembering all these Vedas, they made the laws, but they were according to the time. So Manu Smriti में भी they say कि you can't take suddenly Manu Smriti and it is 100% applicable in today's world. It may not be.
Very difficult.
Exactly. So that's why what Chinmayananji said, that you have to have a strong foundation. But whatever is said in Bhagavad Gita, that knowledge is timeless knowledge. Why it is called timeless? Because whether it's 5,000 years ago, whether it is 5 million years ago or now, as long as human mind is there, it is applicable. Because it's a very foundational. But how to act in the world, वो सब स्मृति वगैरह से पता चलता है. You can get some idea, but you can't 100% follow. Because you won't be able to. So you use your judgment at that point. Like in Bhagavad Gita also, it said कि भाई kusha grass और उस पे animal skin लगा के और फिर meditate करो. अब kusha grass, animal skin कहाँ से आएगा भाई? We're not going to go kill an animal to get. So Swamiji said, Chinmayananji said, just take a blanket and put it under and sit. Why would they said kusha? Because he gave a scientific reason that उससे ना वो moisture नहीं आता है नीचे. अगर if you're sitting and meditating and you start perspiring and the moisture stays underneath, you will not be able to meditate. So it should be aired out. So that's why उस जमाने में वो सब चलता था. अभी नहीं चलता है. So you have to, and then that's how you have to. You have to use your intelligence and not become like क्या बोलते हैं तो उसको अंधविश्वास में नहीं चल रहा. ये बोला ऐसा ही करना है, मर रहे हैं तो भी ऐसे करेंगे. No, you don't need to do that. Use your intelligence. So they have, I think that when maybe someday we will do, that what are the different shastras, they are very scientific, Upanishad has.
We don't know.
We don't know what the context is. Like Puranas. Puranas, people say, oh, how can it be? Purana mein pehle hi bol diya hai ki not everything is history in there. Part is history, others are stories created to give you a point. But Puranas ka uddeshya exactly wohi hai, Atmagyan. But it has been fluffed with many stories, fluffed with udharan, so that a common man can get it. Everybody doesn't like this direct knowledge like this from Upanishad. तभी Upanishad class में कम लोग होते हैं, सब भाग जाएंगे. If you do some kind of a माता की चौकी or Hanuman Chalisa and all, you can get a lot of people. खाना पीना मस्ती, But Upanishad only selected people who get interested in it because it's a little dry knowledge, So Puranas also very, very powerful. In fact, वो हरे कृष्ण मंदिर में वो बता रहा था. He said कि प्रभुपाद जी ने बोला कि Bhagavad Gita is a graduate study and Bhagavad Puran is a postgraduate study. Because they have taken case study करेंगे, ये करेंगे, वो करेंगे और इतने सारे मंत्रास, इतना सारा वो. So it's like पहले ये समझ लो बेसिक नॉलेज, फिर आओ इधर, नहीं तो सब उल्टा सीधा करोगे यहाँ पर जाके. You got to have a good foundation to understand Puranas. Other people will mess it up. So all of them have a lot of importance of their own kind. I think we have to understand what they are.
Here, when they talk about mind, are we talking about mind and intellect as both as one mind, or just the mind itself?
Oh, here I think when they talk about Manomaya Kosha, they are talking about the mind,
That is
because
mind.
because the next one is Vijnanamaya, which is intellect.
Yes.
So
Okay, because some of the things, like intellect makes the decision. It discriminates, discerns and discriminate
Right.
and make. Therefore, I was wondering when we talk about this, some of things are like that. That's why I was saying.
I mean,
when I
sometimes,
read it,
the line may be very thin, true, but if you have to categorize, then the intellect comes in the next category now.
Yeah, it does, because
Yeah.
it's a separate
Yeah.
sheet.
And then the Anandamaya Kosha that Joe was saying that sometimes he was getting confused. Anandamaya Kosha is actually our, unmanifest time. But
Yes,
that
the seed
Kosha,
state.
somebody explained it and it made so much sense. That Kosha is the innermost and it's closest to the Brahman. That's why we
Yes.
borrow the Anand from there. And that's why when we are in deep sleep, we are happiest. Why do everybody crave to go to deep sleep? Because वहाँ पर कोई गम नहीं, कोई कुछ नहीं, आनंद ही आनंद है. तो हम लोग जब आनंद फील करते हैं ना कोई मटेरियल चीज़ों से, हमको ऐसा लगता है कि वो मटेरियल चीज़ में नहीं, वो दैट्स अ बोरोड आनंद फ्रॉम दैट आनंदमय कोशा.
Right. But because it's you're not dealing with mind, you're not dealing with anything in the deep sleep,
Yeah.
So that is unmanifested, so nothing is happening, and therefore you're
Exactly. So I think that to me, the whole this Vedas ka jo hai, or especially Upanishad, is extremely scientific. The more you think about it, you get amazed at how much science is there in it. It is not opposing of science at all. So
If we keep in mind, it's for the students, because it started with the student. Everything makes so much sense how you are brought up.
yes, that's what
You're
it is.
brought up this way. It's a way of, I guess, life, or not way of life, but it is. If you're brought up, there is no other way. You don't see any other way but this way. If you're brought up,
Yeah.
so thank you.
The Manomaya Kosha is the one that takes with us in the Sukshma Sharir our karmas and our desires to the next life.
So when they talk about Manomaya Kosha over there, then they include the intellect also in there. So that's only the Annamaya Kosha is dropped on this earth. If you think about it, rest. Pranmaya, some people believe Pranmaya has a two aspect. One is like a physical manifestation of it with the 5 pranas, and the other one is a sukshma part that goes with it. That's what some people say. So there is a sukshma part of pranas that go. Prana is like a glue between, the two worlds, So that's what it is.
No, but Manomaya takes that karmas and desires. So while you are describing this here, they are being accumulated there.
Where in the Manomaya Kosha?
Right.
Yeah, you can say that when, it is actually, if you think about it very technically, then it is, the vasanas are like beyond even intellect, they are getting recorded. That's why it's called tendencies or vasanas,
Right.
And then because of that tendency and vasanas, all the other koshas come into existence. That's why usko karan sharir bhi bola hai na, causal body.
Yeah.
Causal bodies are our tendencies. And that's why, like Meenaji, that chart that Swamiji created, Om and V is the vasanas, and then you have the rest of the world. So the world is because of the vasanas. That's why they say, if you finish off the vasanas, you get moksha. Because there's no reason for you to come. You don't want to experience anything, I'm done. But we came on this earth because of our causal body, which are all our tendencies. I want desires and all that. I want to do this, I want to do that. So, yeah, it requires a lot of contemplation, all these points. But the answers are there. Yes. Any other point?
I mean, I'm still in kind of awe that how mind has been associated with these Vedas. I mean, I'm just still kind of absorbing that.
Yes, I think they were very smart, the rishis,
Yeah.
when they said that to the students,
Yeah.
you know. But I think the whole generation went without even studying anything about Vedas and all, because of all the problems that happened in India with invasion and then, you know, this idea that, you know, if you are very educated and all, why do you need to study all this? They didn't know that there is so much worldly stuff is there in this, you know. So, and if you think about it, Bhagavad Gita is nothing but a whole book on psychology also. You can look at it from that angle. Arjuna was totally depressed, having a nervous breakdown, and Krishna Bhagwan, you know, he didn't call, like we tell the students, Krishna Bhagwan didn't call 911. he said, "Baith jaya, मैं तुझे सिखाता हूँ आत्मज्ञान," because if you know this knowledge, you will not be depressed, basically, you know. But कोई सुनने को तैयार होना चाहिए ना. You tell the teenagers, you know, study Bhagavad Gita, you won't be depressed. They'll say, "You don't know anything, mom." You know, that's what they will say. You know, so we do our best. We understand everything, and then we can, you know, try to educate whoever. That's why in this it kept saying that, if you remember, that study करो और सबको सिखाओ, है कि नहीं? ये वाले ही उपनिषद में था. I don't know the Sanskrit word, मैं भूल गई. Svadhyaya, and then go and you know, tell other 100 people. So first study yourself and then spread this knowledge.
You know, when they talk about these mantras, etc., to me it was more of intellect, that, you know, you set some rules for yourself, okay? And then the mind, whatever comes to the mind, because everything is getting to the mind from objects from outside, that decision that has to be made with the knowledge that you have, basic knowledge, basic principles of yours in the intellect, then you make a right decision. So when I was reading that, also came to me that, well, because they're teaching the Vedas, from the Vedas, that it should be part of, I'm wrong, but I don't understand fully, but that...
Oh, you mean you think that it should be part of intellect? Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
Yeah, so...
These are rules that you have. And
Okay.
it makes that true.
Right now what they are saying is that Vedas ko, like the Swamiji said, that तुम्हारे मन को अगर तुम वेदों के मंत्रों से भर दोगे, उसके बाद you can do mananam, and that can be a part of the intellect. But right now they're just talking about what the body of the mind is made up of.
Okay.
Because you can, some people, you know, they have memorized the whole Bhagavad Gita, but they don't know the meaning. I mean, children do that in Chinmaya Mission also. Later on, when they study in 10th and 11th grade, but I know that there are 3-4-year-old who memorize. उनको बेचारों को meaning थोड़ी मालूम है. But right now उन्होंने भर लिया अपने मन को. एक दिन तो curiosity जागृत होगी, क्या बोल रहा हूँ मैं. Yeah, the teacher will tell them. Then they will use the intellect. So I think when we come to the Vigyanmay Kosha, we'll see what they are saying.
Okay.
Yeah. Then maybe it will become clear, the distinction.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay. So shall we close? It's kind of, we went a little bit over, but I'll do the closing prayer. Om Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinah, Sarve Santu Niramaya, Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu, Ma Kaschit Dukha Bhag Bhavet. Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om. All right, we'll see you next time. Hari Om, everyone.